Alright, folks. Just want to touch base with my audience for a minute. Let people know what's up, how things go on this channel. First of all, this is a vlogging channel. When you sign up for a YouTube channel, you sign up for what kind of content you're going to be putting out. You know, entertainment, educational, vlogging. This is a vlogging channel. So here's the thing about a vlog. It can be quite long sometimes. So whether I'm talking, no matter what the subject is I'm talking about, because this is a variety channel, okay? Meaning, more than one topic. And I got a lot to unpack sometimes. And today I got a lot to unpack because I'm going to be talking about all the topics that I talk about on my channel. So, since this is a vlogging channel, I just want to let you know, sometimes it can take a long time. If you don't like content that is long, maybe this isn't the content for you. Maybe you should try TikTok. The kindergarten channel. Go play on TikTok if you want short content. Because you can scroll through and get one short right after another. But if you want to learn something from a person who experienced, my generation, and I base everything that I do on my channel around my Gen X experience. I don't just talk about the dangerous toys we played with and how we were the ones that came home when the street light came on. There's a lot more to us than that. It is more complicated than that, I assure you. There's plenty of that going on shorts and TikTok too. You can check out the Gen X content there. But if you want to see what a real Gen Xer is like, here I am. So, vlogging, we got that part out of the way. Vlogging equals long content sometimes. Sorry. Choose something else. Moving right along. Now that we got that out of the way. Speaking of Gen X, I see a lot of Gen Xers coming out of the woodwork, to create content now. So, that's a good thing, as long as you get everything correct, everything straight. The one thing I want to straighten out right now is I saw a video where an influencer, I'm not going to say whether it was male or female, an influencer was talking about Gen X, and they were like, oh, you don't want to mess with Gen X because we were the feral street kids that only came home when the street lights come on. We played with dangerous toys, and getting hurt off of those toys were part of the fun. And then they went on to say one thing that I could not stand. We were all latchkey kids. We were not all latchkey kids, okay? When you say that out loud like that, it sounds kind of stupid. And it kind of ruins your content a little bit, because we were not all latchkey kids. I remember one time when I first heard the term latchkey kids, it was like in the second grade. I was in art class, and the teacher asked the students in the room that if you wear a key around your neck to raise your hand. There might have been 3 of us in the entire classroom, and this was a pretty big classroom. I think of about anywhere from 15 to 22 kids. A lot of kids went to school, in like that, that would pack into one classroom back in those days. So, yeah, there might have been 2 or 3 of us in that classroom now. Not saying the entire school. There was probably a lot more within the entire school. I'd say maybe 2 in every 10 kids were actual latchkey kids. I was one of those. I was one of those. And I got a story about that I could share with you at some other time. If you are interested in my Gen X discussion, and some of you have showed interest in it in the past, I am down for discussing, my experiences as a Gen Xer. Let me know down in the comments if you want to hear that kind of thing. All right. Weight loss. I definitely focus on weight loss through my experiences as a Gen Xer, and that mainly revolved around, back in those days, people would do intermittent fasting, because back then we had grandparents that actually teach us some things from a bygone generation, the greatest generation and the silent generation both. Would make you only eat 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and supper. And supper ended about anywhere from 5 to 6 o'clock in the evening. And if you didn't get enough food then, you were not allowed to eat anything the rest of the night until the next day. We were practicing intermittent fasting, whether we knew it or not. Back then, it didn't have a term, it didn't have a name back then. That's what we were doing, and that's why they say the obesity epidemic did not spread until the 80s, when the boomers, started to take over a little bit more. And us Gen Xers, we're a little bit more free-hearted, or free-spirited, I should say, in the way of eating whatever the heck we wanted to, whenever we wanted to, no matter what time it was. Alright, so yeah. The elephant in the room, the carbohydrate diet thing. Hey, that didn't work out. I did a weigh-in the other morning. No, I did a weigh-in yesterday morning. After 3 days in, this is what that weigh-in looked like. So, going through a 4th day after that, I didn't lose anything in those days, and I know I wasn't on it long enough. That's besides the point. I'm going to talk about how miserable I felt on that diet. I mean, when you're going as low carb as I was going, you feel a little miserable throughout the day. You'll eat and you'll feel kind of good, but then that don't last long, and then you're hungry again, and it's like you stay hungry all the time on that diet. I stuck with it, though. Stuck with it pretty much through my wife's birthday. I did slip and eat a small piece of her birthday cookie because she wanted a cookie on that day. But then the next day, it's like I couldn't feel that cookie. I couldn't feel it, and I feel the effects of the diet working. I was like, darn, with all this hunger hormone I got going on, I must be dropping the heck out of some weight. Because, I got 2 other weigh-ins from last month on video that I can share if you need me to at some point. That were both had me weighing in the 330-pound range. But what really snapped me out of the diet was last night. It was last night, and mind you, I wasn't intermittent fasting because, they say, oh, you can go do 0. It's supposed to be all about the diet, right? The diet works so well. Why would I have to intermittent fast with it? I can do that. I can fast and eat my normal food. I can fast and lose weight and do that. I've done it on this channel. I've got a video catalog of that type of thing right here on this channel. Lost 80 pounds doing it. So last night, what snapped me out of reality, what I keep trying to talk about here, is I was low carbing all day. As a matter of fact, I left this in the car. This was the last thing I was snacking on, was these pork rinds. I got them at the Dollar Tree yesterday. I was going to do a video about it, but I blew the diet yesterday evening because, those satisfied me for a minute. That was around 3:30 in the afternoon, 4 o'clock maybe, somewhere around there. But then all of a sudden, I get home. My wife wants to go get my daughter a Domino's pizza because it's Thursday. Thursday was our pizza night. Before I started low carbon, I said, she's like, do you want me to get you anything? And she said, you can eat the top off of the pizza. Yeah, I know people do that on keto. I've seen people do that. But here's the thing. We are in a blow Biden economy. And they keep telling us that the economy is good. I don't see it. I'm trying to figure out where it's good at because I ain't feeling it. I'm struggling paying my bills now, and I never struggled before. But anyway, enough of that political stuff. You get the point. I don't know how you can vote blue even if it's doo-doo, but some people do. I don't vote at all, just so you know. Just so you know. I don't support anybody. I've never voted in my life. It's just not my cup of tea. But anyway, I'm going to say this, though. You know, whoever's giving me the cheapest gas and groceries, that's who I tend to lean toward. Sorry, it's called common sense. And I don't care what the heck else is going on in the world, as long as it ain't crashing into my world. And it is right now. And I don't like it very good. I'm what you call one of those on the fence people. And I'm sorry, you know, if what you're telling me that I'm seeing and feeling, it's not what I'm seeing and feeling. Enough of that. What was I talking about? I done got way sidetracked. Alright, so God, what was I even talking about now? I done thrown myself for a loop. Oh yeah, the diet stuff. So the pizza, there we go. That's where I was at. So we went to Domino's and we got 3 pizzas. A large ground beef pizza, because my son likes that and my wife likes that. And a pepperoni pizza, because my friend Tracy that lives with us likes that. Hopefully I can keep that sun off my camera. Oops. Sorry, hard turn, folks. But anyway, all of this pizza costs $54. $54. So I'm like, and they did have a gluten-free option I could have got that was kind of keto. That'd have been an extra $14 on top of that $54 that I would have been costing extra from my family that I could have used money for something else, another meal later on. And I'm thinking to myself, this low carb crap ain't worth it. I haven't lost a pound in 3 or 4 days, not even a pound. I feel like I'm starving to death, and then I see where people are on this for like a year. Oh, it took me a year to get there. Yeah, no, that's not for me. Heck no. I'm going to go back to intermittent fasting starting today. That's where the weight stands. One of the other things I wanted to get off my chest while I was on this channel. But yeah. If my content is a little too complex for you, there's some really romper room Sesame Street style review channels out there. Alright, moving right along to food reviews. Now that you know that I'm going back to intermittent fasting, I'm doing the 16-8 starting today. I'm just going to eat and try to get used to that intermittent fasting schedule for now, without weigh-ins, and we'll see where I weigh in about 2 or 3 weeks. You know I'm 330 right now. That's all you need to know for now. For those of you who are really pestering me about how the weight loss is going, it's not going good on the low carb thing, but y'all seen me do my own thing and have good results time and time again. This time I just got to stick with it because it's part of my channel, part of who I am as a Gen Xer, and it's the Gen X way. Alright, so what else have we got to talk about? I got one more thing to talk about, and then we'll let you go. This is going to be about a 20-minute video or so, maybe 25. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. But food reviews. That's my thing. I'm going to be doing more food reviews starting today. I'm going to do a review in just a little while. That's going to be part of my intermittent fasting schedule. All my reviews will be. So if you need to know what I'm doing diet-wise, that's all you need to know. When I'm putting out a food review, I'm doing a 16-8. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to stick with. I will show you results when results happen. Give me 3 or 4 weeks. Give me a month. At least give me till halfway through next month to produce some results, okay? It's not going to happen overnight. Well, y'all know me. When I get the results, I'll be sharing them. But anyway, the food reviews. Okay, yeah. So, like I said in the beginning, if you don't like long food reviews, TikTok. If you want something short and to the point and some boring review coming from somewhere else, that pretty much, follows the pattern of everyone else. I do it Gen X style, with no apologies whatsoever. When I do my review, I compare it to other reviewers out there sometimes, especially if I don't like what they're saying. And right now, I don't like a lot of them stepping on restaurants, stepping on restaurants and because they're already struggling. Some of them are going bankrupt, right? And we may be losing some of iconic restaurants that we've had around for decades and generations, and nobody will think about they miss them until they're not available anymore. Then people will miss them and be like, oh, I miss this certain restaurant. That's already happened in history. If you look up, what's that, Bob's Big Boy? Everybody talks about how great those burgers were, and you could see them selling the burgers in grocery stores, but I guarantee you it ain't the experience that you would have gotten back in the day at a real Bob's Big Boy restaurant from that Big Boy burger. We've already experienced that. That was a loss even for Gen X. I mean, we didn't get to experience that. Most of us didn't. Maybe some early Gen Xers might have got to do it. I think I remember one of those being around when I was small, but I was so young I can't remember the experience of it, at the time. I was just that young when it phased out. Or it might have even phased out before I come along. I don't know, but I do remember seeing that Big Boy somewhere. And somebody might have opened up another restaurant with that, still being on there and calling it something else. I can't remember how that went, but yeah, we've already, that type of thing has already happened. So, if you're watching, some YouTuber out there, complaining about something, that they shouldn't be complaining about, like, oh, this is the same kind of thing they put out last year just under a different name. Who cares? Who cares? At least the restaurant's trying to draw some traction there. Maybe just don't talk about stuff like that, just say whether it's good or not. It's all you got to do as a food reviewer. Nobody cares if they put something out that was similar to it. Jesus. I'll get into that later when I do my review. When I do my review for later. I got some things to say about that. But yeah, us food reviewers, especially the ones out there with millions of subscribers, you got to be careful, man. I see a lot of them doing praises right now of some of the restaurants that are in trouble, and I like seeing that. It's about time we started seeing that from some of these larger reviewers. They're taking notes from some of us small timers for sure, and applying it to their own channels, and it's good to see. It's good to see. It really is. Y'all do that, I might even call you out by name, let you know whether I'm a fan or not. I definitely go by your reviews as a guideline to how I'm going to do mine. That's for sure. So that is about all I've got to say about my food reviews. Got a lot more of those coming up, short and long. And if you don't like long reviews, I do put out shorts that I can link you, or I can just link you back to this video so you will know what I'm all about. If you don't like short form content, TikTok! Alright, folks, that is all I have for this episode. So until the next time, you folks have a good one.